In this video, I am going to cover why you feel poor and why companies like Apple and Amazon are out to break you. We use ChatGPT to break down the facts. So we started our research. The worst year of the Great Depression was 1933. So let's start with some numbers. The average annual income back then was $1,500. So with ChatGPT, I'm going to teach you the best prompt you could ever use. I call it short answer. Tell her, give me a short answer. Instead of wasting your time with all of this, get right to this. So the approximation, $1,500 in 1933 is the equivalent to about making $35,000 a year in today's dollars. Now, let's go ahead and break this down further. Let's jump here. So let's go down. $1,500, okay, is the equivalent to $30,000 or $35,000. You have to think about ratios. The average annual income today in the United States is about double what it was in the Great Depression. Okay, 35,000 to almost 70,000 in 91 years. Stay with me. Let's talk about ratios now. So, the average single family home. I want you to keep track of all the facts. Okay, the average income in the worst time in history in 1933 was $1,500, equivalent, that's a year, to about $30,000 or $35,000 today. That means, according to, I tried to go through ChatGPT, but it really wouldn't give me straight answers, kept sending me to the census and blah, blah, blah. Comes out to about 23 million people are earning this much, $30,000 to $35,000 a year. I want you to think about the ratios. Let's look at what you could buy in 1933. You only made $1,500 for the year. Today you're making $35,000. We're going to compare rent, houses, everything. So if we look here, right here, our income has roughly, it's gone up tremendously. But if you base it on those dollars in 1933, it's doubled. Let's look at rent, houses, and everything. Let's jump in. So the average home in America during the Great Depression cost $3,900. What does that mean? Well, that means that you could pay off your house in a couple of months, maybe a year. Okay? Not 30 years, but there's something else. There's something critical that you need to know. The ratios. Let's jump into that further. So let's talk about rental. Let's talk about the average everyday person that's out there renting. Okay, first of all, the cost of a home, buying a home. The average home is like $600,000 now, $700,000, depending where you are. Okay, and when we look back in the day of the Great Depression, we're looking at the average home costing under $4,000. But what about rent? Okay, so the average rent in New York City, this is in the 60s. Hold on. So on a $1,500 a year salary, okay, you are able to rent an average one bedroom for about $100. Okay, now if we go here, that was in San Antonio, Texas that I pulled up the $100. What's the average rent in San Antonio now? Look at this. It's $1,073. So it's gone up 10 times. Your income has only doubled. This has gone up 10 times. Now let's think again about the ratios. A new car back in 1933 was $600. Actually, look right here. The average car was $600. Today, the average car, and look at that, they have rented $18. I just seen that. Think about the salary. Think about how much money you make, the average person. Okay, think about the ratios. A car now is $60,000. Now, that's not 10 times. No, 10 times is 6,000. It's 100 times. The average car is 100 times more expensive today than it was in the Great Depression. If we equal out dollars for dollars, it's unbelievable. This is why you feel poor. Let's take us back to Wall Street. Why do you feel poor? Okay, the squeeze. You ready for the squeeze? Okay, these are earnings. They missed, they were punished. This is Amazon. Amazon missed earnings and they were punished for it. So every quarter, they must exceed revenue and expectations. You don't pull money from the sky. There's acquisition of new customers. There's new product lines and expansion. Amazon has been around for years. Once that happens and they've gone through a lot of the expansion and growth, what do they start doing? They have to piggyback you and take more money from you. For example, Amazon Prime. Hold on. Oh, I had to shut that music off. I felt like I was yelling over it. So, how does Amazon, let me give you an example of this in real life. Amazon Prime, which we pay for, which includes free movies and TV, okay, never had commercials. Now they are adding commercials and you're still paying for Prime. Okay, you're paying for what used to be free TV, but they're adding in commercials, but there was an option for me to pay $2.99 a month to have no ads. So I took that option. Eventually, that'll have to go to $3.99 and $4.99. Why is that? They must exceed expectations every quarter. This is every single food company around the world. Okay, let's call them the Acme employment companies. Every single company that's public must get into this heated competition. This is Apple. Okay, look. So let's look up here. Beat earnings, made more money off the people. Beat earnings, made more money off the people. Made more money off the people. Oh, the people were draining that time. See how this works? So they must continue to beat expectations. How do you do that? You shrink products. You give them less. You make people work more for less. Put less in the bag. Put less sold by weight, not volume. So half the bag could be empty, but it's the proper weight. All of these tricks are designed to keep you to be poor. How do you get out of being poor? Well, for me, I like to leverage trade crypto, obviously. And there are links pinned to the first comment below. And I can teach you how to leverage trade. I have a consultation where I teach you the whole thing. But forget that. You have to change your mindset. You must become a creator, not a consumer. You must become a creator, not a consumer. Money comes from one place: ideas. Everything around you, everything you see was once someone's idea that they followed through, became a creator, created something, and that even falls back to Amazon. If you found this video helpful, subscribe, leave a comment down below underneath the video, and I may respond to you. I'll never respond with a WhatsApp number. So let's all go out there and start thinking. What can you start doing to change your life, change your situation? It's up to you, and change is coming. I can think of all the jobs that will be replaced by AI, and it's already happening. You don't need a proofreader, a copywriter. You don't need anything. You don't need a lawyer. You don't need a doctor. It's really, really getting to an era. And now we are taking the AI, artificial intelligence, and giving it bodies like you see here so that it can do our jobs. This is the next wave that's coming. Get rich or get wrecked. Links down below.